I gave her food, clothes, even let her rest sometimes. I don't know why everyone acting as if it's an abuse.
Make way! Clear your minds! Adjust your wings. Hide your unpaid funds. For the mighty, the fearless, the one and the only, Lillian King!
Thank you, Chinedu. That introduction was louder than my car horn in Lagos traffic. Let's begin, before your feet start dancing again.
Anything for justice, my lord.
What case are we hearing today?
We bring you the people versus Madame Coco, charged under Section 11D and Section 28(1)D of the Child's Rights Act. She turned a bright and promising girl into a house help instead of sending her to school.
My lord, Blessing here was brought to Madame Coco's house to help around the house. In turn, she was promised care and education. But instead of sending her to school, she was made to cook, wash, scrub, and fetch water from morning to night. No salary, no education, no birthdays, not even appropriate clothes or a safe sleeping space.
This is a full crime buffet.
Get the gavel ready! Justice must roll!
My lord, my client was only trying to help. She says Blessing is like her daughter. She fed her, clothed her, and let her watch TV sometimes.
Watching TV is not the same as going to school. And buying her clothes is not a favor. It's basic human needs.
TV is not education. Now calling to the stand is Blessing, the brave girl asking for justice.
Blessing, can you tell us what happened?
I was promised school, but was forced to wake me up 4 a.m. every morning to clean, cook, and feed the dogs. But he beat me severally. When I asked her about education, she told me that I wasn't here to rest or learn.
I gave her food, clothes, even let her rest sometimes. I don't know why everyone acting as if it's an abuse.
My investigation revealed that Blessing had no mattress, no medical record, not even family contact. Neighbors confirmed that they saw Blessing doing heavy chores. And this violates Section 28(1)D on exploitative labor and Section 3 on the best interest of the child. Indeed, Madam Coco, you have failed on this law. Every child is a nation, and I refuse to let this one fall. Thank you, my lord.
My lord, my client never intended harm. She believed she was helping. She now understands her mistake and is ready to do better.
A home should raise children and not overuse them.
Flames of fairness, torch of truth.
Madam Coco, what you did was loud and wrong. You used Blessing, you didn't help her. So from today, Blessing will be placed in a safe home and enrolled in school. She must pay a 50,000 naira fine to the Child Welfare Fund. She must write a public apology to Blessing and her family.
I was wrong, my lord.
Let this be clear. Every child deserves book and not brooms.
They said, come to the city, you would go to school. But school became a scrubbing brush, and hope dried in a washing bowl. Just 12 years old, yet treated like 14. No books, no birthday cakes, just chores that scream you're not worthy. She cleaned their floors while they stepped on her dreams. Fed their dog, yet starved of esteem. This is kindness, Madame said. But kindness doesn't change a child's duty. Kindness sends a child to class, but not creative. Now, let justice speak. Let childhood breathe.
Uncle Gaji tried to marry Amira off to a man in return for goats and yams. That's not marriage. That's using a child like property.
What's today's case?
Case number KLC 021. The State versus Gajilawa. She's being charged for trying to marry off a 13-year-old girl.
My lord, under Section 21 of the Child Rights Act, it states that no one under 18 can get married. If they do, it's not valid. Uncle Gaji tried to marry Amira off to a man in return for goats and yams. That's not marriage. That's using a child like property. But in his village, it's tradition. The goats and the yam are just the bride price.
Tradition does not cancel the law. Children must be protected.
Amira is smart. She's just 13 years. She wants to be a software developer. A child bride becomes a child mother. That's not a future. It's a trap. But she said yes.
She's a child. Children cannot legally agree to marry.
Amira, what do you really want?
I want to go to school, study to become a software developer.
But didn't you tell your uncle you were okay with the marriage?
Yes, but I was scared. I just wanted him to stop shouting. Every night, I cried myself to sleep.
If she marries now, the only thing she'll be calling is diapers.
Childhood is not a practice for adulthood. Let children learn, grow, and dream. A goat or yam cannot replace a child's future. Under Section 21, child marriage is a crime. Uncle Gaji, you are guilty. And this court sentences you to 2 years in prison or a fine of 500,000 naira. Amira will be placed under the state child protection and she must return to school immediately.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is justice with a big J.
Don't wrap me in wrappers I then choose. Don't trade my joy for 2 peasants stew. My name is Amira, not pride, not bargain, not yours. You called it culture, I called it chains. You saw bride price, I saw my pain. I dream of code, not cradles.
Please call the case.
My lord, we present to you the children of Coco versus the Ministry of Health under Section 13 of the Child Rights Act.
My lord, Section 13 of the Child Rights Act says every child has the right to the best help possible. But here in Coco, the clinic is like a ghost town. There are no nurses, the drugs are expired, and no help in emergency. Tolomo died during an asthma attack. No inhaler. Zainab fainted during football. Clinic was blocked.
Building a working clinic takes time, staff, money, planning.
But children's health can't wait. Delay could cost a child's life.
Order in court. Prosecution, allow the defense to finish.
Take your time, Tolu. We are all listening.
My chest was tight. I couldn't breathe. Mommy ran to the clinic, but no one was there. She cried. She prayed. I just wanted to breathe.
Tolu, are you okay now?
Yes, but only because the visitor had an inhaler. What if she didn't come?
To all leaders, children's health is not a gift. It is your duty. A clinic without medicine is just an empty room. A clinic without nurses is just an empty building. But a clinic with care brings life. This court finds the Ministry of Health guilty of failing to provide proper health care as required by the Section 13 of the Child Rights Act. The ministry is hereby ordered to Hire trained medical staff for Coco Clinic within the next 60 days. Set up an emergency helpline and first aid system immediately. Supply the clinic with safe working medicine every month and report back to this court in 90 days with proof of action. If this is not done, responsible official may face a fine of 500,000 naira or up to 1 year in prison as provided by the Child Rights Act.
Case is closed like a clinic with walking doors. Long live children's rights.
They call it a clinic, we call it empty. No nurse, no light, no life. Just silence where healing should live. Tolu gaps, Zaina dropped, but nobody came. Because in Coco Town, care forgot to show up. That's not fate, that's failure. But listen, justice isn't quiet.
My lord, she's acting like she's grown. I'm just 13. I mean, we didn't do anything to her. We just gave her strong warning. Have you?
We didn't beat her. We only gave her public sense.
Let's start before you shake the walls.
My lord, this child was punished in a way that damaged her dignity. Her parents shaved her hair for texting a boy. Then they made a video and posted it online with the caption, "This is what happens to stubborn girls." The video has now gone viral and she's now being mocked at school. She's even emotionally distressed.
My lord, some of my classmates asked if I had cancer. Some of the boys called me Stone Cold and Tubaba. And they said I looked like a boy. And some of the girls were laughing at me. And it's really hot.
My lord, she's acting like she's grown. I'm just 13. I mean, we didn't do anything to her. We just gave her strong warning. Have you?
We didn't beat her. We only gave her public sense.
The parents acted out of love. They were trying to protect her from bad influences.
So, they were trying to protect her by shaming her in HD. Was this parenting or filming for YouTube?
My lord, Amaka avoid mirror. She skipped school assembly. Avoid class activities. She lost her confidence.
Punishment shouldn't be for the internet. It's to teach and not to break someone's heart.
My lord, punishment should help children grow and not crush their spirit. Posting that video online was cruel and not correction.
My lord, they didn't mean to harm her. They were only scared of what might happen if they didn't act.
Intentions are not enough. Good intention don't cancel out bad action, especially not in this court. According to Section 11B of the Child Rights Act, no child should be subjected to torture, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. You cannot raise your child by making her a joke online. She's not a viral moment.
But in our times, our fathers.
In your time, there was no internet. This is a new era, and so is the law. My ruling, Mr. and Mrs. Chinedu must take down all posts and issue a public apology. Amaka will receive free counseling from the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. Her parents must attend a 6-week parenting workshop titled Discipline versus Dignity. If they repeat this offense, they will face full legal consequences, including a fine of 50,000 naira or up to 6 months in prison, or both as stated by the Child Rights Act. Discipline without dignity is just destruction in disguise. Your child is not your content or PR campaign. Correct them with love and not hashtag.
Case is closed. Let your parenting go viral and of course, for the right to reasons.
They shaved the crown and called it Courtroom. Took her tears and turned them viral. One mistake turned into 1 million views. But who's counting a shame when likes amuse? A child's heart is not for clout. Discipline isn't supposed to shout.
Let's be seated.
My lord, today we bring the case of the people versus Mr. Deke Aino. She's a teacher Who took our grade 3 pupils to a construction site without helmets, permission, or even a proper adult supervision?
Now, wow.
Nawa is not a lawyer. Let's stay focused.
The kids were aged 6 to 8. Some were made to climb scaffolding. One boy was told to wave from the top, like Titanic. It was not safe.
My lord, should learning only be from books? It was just a short trip to see real things. No serious harm was done.
Real thing? This is not cartoon. This is real danger.
My lord, I wanted them to see the world beyond the classroom. You know, children are like wet cement. We need to shape them all.
Interesting. You nearly shaped them into concrete statue.
But I was only trying to be creative.
My lord, I wasn't told about any trip. I only came to pick up my son and they said he hasn't returned. He came back with bruises and red eyes. 7 doors nearly blinded his eyes. He couldn't even sleep that night.
This is not just a bad judgment, but this breaks Section 2 of the Child's Rights Act, which says children must be protected and be cared for properly.
My lord, let's be real here. Nobody died. Just few bruises and some dust. We don't have to blow it up like election drama.
So until a child falls off a crane, is all fine? I've seen photos of Daniel climbing a ladder, barefoot, holding a safety first sign, and the irony of the whole thing is that he was not wearing any protective gear. And I also saw a video of a boy asking if he can drive the bulldozer. Let every teacher listening hear this. Children are not for content or experiment for your real world vibes. They are life, real ones. If you want them to learn about construction, give them Lego and not ladders. This court finds you, Mrs. Fadeke Aino, guilty of endangering children's lives and breaking the trust of the parents. This falls under Section 2 of the Nigerian Child's Rights Act. Children must be given protection and care for their well-being. You are hereby sentenced to 3 months of community service at a real construction site under strict safety rules. And you must attend safety training classes twice so you learn how to protect and not to endanger. You would write a letter of apology to the pupil and to their parents.
Case is closed. Safety first and always.
She took them to bridges and cranes, but forgot the rules and ignored the pains. 6 years old and steel and dust, in a world where trust should be a must. One came back with bloodshot eye, while the teacher offered smiles and lies. Just a field trip, she claimed with flair, but safety girl, nowhere there.
We are his parents. We brought him into this world. We can check anything, even his dreams.
My lord, even this phone we're talking about, I paid for it. It's my phone.
Everyone, sit down. Let's get to the bottom of this.
My lord, this is Daniel Dekule. He's 13 years old. His parents read through his WhatsApp messages, read his private diary, and even proceeded to install a CCTV camera in his bedroom. With all this, he feels his privacy is being taken away.
Even Big Brother doesn't go this far. We are his parents. We brought him into this world. We can check anything, even his dreams.
My lord, even this phone we're talking about, I paid for it. It's my phone. So therefore, the screen, the charger, the memory card are all mine.
My lord, Daniel keeps laughing at night while texting. What should we do? Close our eyes and pray?
Or you could talk to him. Parenting is not spying. This is not 007 teenage spy mission.
Section 8 of the Nigerian Child Rights Law states that every child has a right to privacy in their homes, in their messages, and their texts. Parents can guide their children, but they must not break that trust.
Yes, my lord. I wrote in my diary, I wish they would just mind their business. But that became the morning devotion topic the next day.
Turning privacy into preaching. That's a new one.
Privacy is not rebellion. It's part of growing up. Diaries are for thinking, not for parents to read.
So how do we protect them if you don't know what they're hiding?
You protect by teaching, not by spying.
But they still need our direction.
Direction, yes. Invasion, no. Even Google asks for permission before taking our data. Parents must lead with love and not fear.
So we can't check his phone or diary anymore.
You can look, but only if you have good reasons. And you must ask him first. Teach, correct, but don't sneak.
But his room is in my house.
And your mouth is in your head. But you have to mind what you say. Everyone has rights, even your child. Privacy is not about hiding. It's about respect. Children are not criminals by default. Trust them and they will trust you. Parents must guide and not to stalk. And this is my verdict. The CCTV camera must be removed immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Adekunle must not check Daniel's phone or diary without a serious reason or his knowledge. Daniel must agree to weekly family talk, honest, open and respectful. All three must attend family communication class taught by Dr. Cynthia Obi.
Yes, my lord. You drop truth like thunder in dry season. Case closed.
They say my house, my rules, but right don't vanish behind family doors. He's 13, not a thief, not a spy. Just a boy with a diary and dreams that cry. The bread is toast, they watch him sleep. Love shouldn't be this dark, this deep. Trust isn't raised by secret camera or snoopy hand with righteous plans. Justice said, enough with Section 8.
The Honorable Court is now in session. Case of Al-Haji and Al-Hajja Salami versus Master Yusuf, now called and ready.
Let's begin. May this court be guided by sense, not just feelings.
My lord, Mana, my son has stopped being a Muslim. And now he shout hallelujah, Kai, more than the pastor.
I can't help anybody on his head saying, I received it. I nearly fainted.
My lord, I respect my parents, but when I read the New Testament, something touched my heart. I want to follow Jesus. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to follow what I believe.
Under Section 7 of the Child Rights Act, Yusuf has a right to think for himself. He is 15 and he can think for himself. Religion should not be forced down like food.
My lord, let's not forget, parents raise children with love and culture. When a child changes religion, it can feel like a deep loss to the family.
And yet, control is not love. If the family bond is real, it will survive the test of time. Yusuf is only trying to find his faith and his belief. He's not being abusive to his parents.
Imagine raising a child with fasting and prayers. One day he changes direction. It is more than religion. It touches family honor and identity.
But identity must not become prison. Yusuf is not throwing away his family. He's only finding his feet and his belief.
But does a 15-year-old really understand such a big decision?
If he can understand science, he can think about faith. Let's not confuse silence with understanding. Belief grows best where there is no fear.
Yes, parents worry. But worry shouldn't lead to control. True faith is never forced. It grows from the heart.
He didn't even talk to us. One morning, no more dumb prayers.
I was scared. I thought that you hated me. But I still love you. But I believe differently now.
This court respects Yusuf's right to choose his religion. He is 15. He's old enough to believe whatever he wants to believe, as long as he does it peacefully. Freedom of religion is not betrayal. Parents, let us lead with love, not fear. Let's raise thinkers and not copycats. So I order a family mediation section with a trained child psychologist. Yusuf must follow basic family rules. Alaji and Alaja must respect Yusuf's rights and believe differently. Faith does not need to match, but love always should.
Yes, my lord. I receive that wisdom.
But dad, the last thing he did, do shinkafa the egg rice.
Yes, as long as it happens with pastors and the guys.
As long as you won't anoint the good.
From mosque to miracle, he made a choice, but the cost was silence over his voice. They called it shame, he called it peace. A boy seeking truth, not family grief. 15 years old, but thinking deep. He dreamt beyond the prayers we keep. Faith isn't chains, belief ends here. What you raise in love should draw you near. He didn't reject them, just stood tall in a court that listens when family walls fall.
This is the case of the state versus Mr. and Mrs. Bello. You are charged under Section 13, Subsection 3 and Subsection 4 of the Child Rights Act for failing to immunize your son, Elisha Bello, who later died of polio.
My lord, this isn't a case about breaking the law. It's about a child who didn't get the chance to grow up. Elisha couldn't speak. He had no voice. His right to live and be protected was denied because of a belief. Thank you, my lord.
My lord, the Bellos are not careless parents. They truly believe they were protecting their son. They prayed for him every day. They meant well, but even though they were wrong.
With respect, belief alone cannot stop a virus. Indeed, prayers are good, but prayers without protections are not good enough. Polio doesn't ask you about your belief. Thank you.
Let's stay calm. Let the facts speak.
Mrs. Bello, did the health worker visit your home?
Yes, they came. But we told them our religion says no to vaccines.
And did they tell you what could happen if you say no?
Yes, they explained. But we believed God will heal.
Objection! She's being pushed emotionally.
Overruled. The truth must be heard, no matter how hard it is.
Elisha didn't even get a fighting chance. He needed protection, not prayers. The Child Rights Act is clear. Parents must ensure that their child gets health care, and the Bellos have failed on this one.
My lord, is jail the answer? These parents are broken. They need help and teaching and not just punishment. Faith should be guided. It shouldn't be punished.
Thank you, Council. I've heard enough. Children, listen up. Your health is your right. If you ever feel sick or unsure, speak up. Adults must protect you and not put your life at risk. And on this note, under Section 13, Subsection 4 of the Child Rights Act, the court fined Mr. and Mrs. Bello guilty of failing to immunize their child as required by Subsection 3. Your beliefs are not being judged, but your action had consequences. Elisha died from something that could have been prevented. You are hereby sentenced to 1 month in prison or 1 month of supervised community service at a children's health clinic, as approved by the Ministry of Health. This is not just about punishment. It's a strong message. Children must be protected from avoidable harm. Belief should guide and not gamble with lives.
Justice with a little injection of truth. Get your injections! Stay alive!
He had no say, no chance, just fever. in silence. A 1-year-old gone, not because there was no cure, but belief blocked the door. They prayed, they hoped, but hope isn't a shield when viruses don't mean to fail. Elisha didn't need a miracle, he needed an injection. But now his story screams in court, not with tears, but with the law.
Case.
I present to you the child's rights activist versus the Federal Ministry of Education for not giving Ifeanyi Uko access to basic education.
My lord, Ifeanyi is only 9. He sells water in traffic, running from cars, dreaming of classrooms. This breaks Section 15 of the Child's Rights Act, which says every child has the right to free and basic education.
My lord, education is important, we agree. But these schools need buildings, roads and teachers. The ministry will work on these things.
With all respect, trying is not enough. The law says that government should provide education, not just plan it.
Exactly. A plan doesn't teach children how to read.
Ma, why didn't you enroll Ifeanyi in a school?
There's no government school nearby. And private schools are very expensive. He's smart. I want him to go to school.
But instead of writing a complaint, you let him hawk.
If a child is hungry, will I give him bread or pen?
Sir, what has your ministry done about the schools around Ifeanyi's area?
We're planning on building a school there sometime next year.
That's not a subject in any school.
Calculators don't work unless you press the right buttons. School is the right button.
Section 15 is very clear. Every child has a right to basic compulsory education. This court finds the Ministry of Education at fault for not giving Ifeanyi access to school. The ministry must enroll Ifeanyi in the nearest public school within 5 working days, must provide daily transport if the school is more than 2 kilometers away, and start building a public school in its area within 6 months and send updates to this court every 2 weeks. Mrs. Uko, now it's your turn. Make sure your son uses pencil and not watery tray. Education is his right and not a gift.
Let the classrooms be full and the excuses be empty.
He sells water like knowledge was poison. Feet blistered, not from football, but from chasing cars. 9 years old, sharp mind, blunt future. Not because he won't, but because he can't. No school near, no desk, only pavement lessons in survival. The law says free compulsory education. Section 15, subsection 1 doesn't stammer.
Queen Presh, God's favorite, obedient, Zion, blessing, Star Girl, Tiwa Baby, Kadesha, Beyonce, Organic.
The court is now in section. You may all sit. But Mr. and Mrs. Ogenikaro, keep standing. You're not tired yet.
Yes, remain standing by the order of my lord. This is not a relaxation center. This is court, where truth stands tall and lies fall like salty plantain chips. My lord, this is a case of the Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Mr. and Mrs. Ogenekaro for giving their baby a name that is too much to handle. Queen Presh, God's favorite, obedient, Zion, blessing, Star Girl, Tiwa Baby, Kadesha, Beyonce, Ogenekaro. 3 months.
Is that her name or Instagram bio?
My lord, even the nurses at the hospital couldn't even pronounce her name. The baby's immunization card is still empty. Why? Because the nurses were too tired to spell it.
But we wanted something different, something special.
My lord, it's a name that speaks her future. It's powerful.
Really? So when she's writing an exam, she should spend the first 20 minutes writing her name. Okay, so the teacher will call Queen Presh, God's favorite, Obedient, Zion Blessing, Star Girl, Tiwa Baby, Kardashian, Beyonce, Ogenekere, and your child would respond, present ma. Will the teacher need water before marking the register?
According to Section 5 of the Child Rights Act, it states that every child has a right to a name that shows their identity, their dignity, and culture. This baby's name is too long and confusing. It's not culture, it's confusion.
In Yoruba, we say, Oruko Omo Niru Omo. A child carries the name they are given. This child carries a full load of blessings.
This isn't a name, it's a traffic announcement. And one day, the child will either shorten it or hide it. Do you want her to be laughed at?
But it's a beautiful name.
Beauty without sense is like wearing a fine clothes to go to sleep. A name is not a joke, it's a gift. Children should be able to bear it, be proud of it, and grow with it. Parents, you should think before you name your child. And this is my verdict. This court finds the name excessive and unfair to the child. You, Mr. and Mrs. Ogenekaro, must submit a name within 14 days. The name must include one English name, one cultural name, and the surname.
My lord, what about Zion Blessing? That name came to me in a dream.
Put it on her Instagram bio, not on her certificate.
Case is closed. Let our names bring honor, not headache.
Call her Queen Presh. Call her God's favorite. Call her Zion Blessing. Call her exhausted. Her name don't fit the form. Don't fit her future. Don't fit the law. It ain't a name. It's a performance. You want difference? Be decent. You want both?